Since I've become single, I've gotten into a few things a bit more. Firstly, fitness. Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, you see that? Yeah, okay, there is still a long way to go, but I'm feeling fitter than I have in the last 2 years. And the second thing that I've suddenly started getting into again is watching reality dating shows. Now, maybe it's because I'm feeling more lonely, but anyway, it is what it is. So today, I thought I'd rank how well I do on those reality dating shows in today's tier list. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so here are our categories. We've got winner of the show. I'm probably not going to put myself in any of these. We've got fan favourite, we've got main cast, we've got background character, and we've got Are You Even On The Show? So let's get into it with the first one, which is Dated and Related, which was a Netflix reality show, and if you haven't seen it, it's basically where siblings go on and try and help their sibling to find the love of their life. Now this would be very weird because I don't know if you're the same with your siblings, but I don't really like seeing my siblings with their significant others. Especially when they're first starting dating, especially if it was my sister. If someone's with my sister, I feel like I want to kneecap them rather than be like, oh yeah, here, you know, go with my sister. So it depends who I'd go on with. I think I'd probably be better if I went on with my brother. We could both talk a load of nonsense. Whether I do very well on the show is a different story. This one's a difficult one. It would really depend on how well me and my brother could wingman each other. But there is a big age gap between me and my brother of about 6 years. So I might be the oldest or he might be the youngest on the show. So that could bring an interesting dynamic. I think we'd probably last quite a while because we do tend to get on with everyone. So I would say, I'm going to say main cast for that one. Maybe not a fan favourite, that would probably be my brother. I mean, he's going to be the superstar of our family. Then we come to Beauty and the Geek, which is a reality show where they get the lads who are like more geeky or seen as geeky, and then you get these girls who are traditionally seen as good looking, and in the show they end up falling in love. The geeky guys come out the shell, the girls get into more geeky stuff, the lads have this sort of makeover. I don't know if it's when they go on the show that they're told to not present themselves as well, because then they do this makeover and they're transformed into someone completely different. I don't know if that's what they're going for on the show or not, but yeah, I think this one would be an interesting one. Whether I'd qualify for it, why am I even saying that? Of course I'd qualify for it. I make film facts for fun, so, and I do a YouTube channel about film and TV, and I'm always been into geeky stuff, so I think I'd qualify. Whether I do well on the show is a different story. I think I'd probably do well because a lot of the guys you see on the show, I don't know if it's just acting up for camera, seem not to be able to talk to girls.
Dragon elf! I would actually say half elf.
I have no problem talking to girls.
Oh boy.
I think I'd be alright on that one. I'd like a transformation though, so if Beauty and the Geek, if you want to get in touch, I'll go on, get transformed. Meet the love of my life maybe on it. So I think I do quite well. Whether I do well enough to be considered a fan favourite is a different story, or win it, because I think someone who comes out their shell more or transforms more in the show would probably win it and become like the fan favourites. I know for me when I was watching it, it's the people who had the biggest transformations who I rooted for in the end of the show. So I'm gonna say probably main cast for that one as well. Okay, moving on to what has to be described as the craziest dating show I've ever seen, and I think anyone will ever seen. And if you're not from the UK, I don't know if they have this outside the UK. If you're not from the UK, this is the most bonkers show you've ever seen. So it's called Naked Attraction, and it is literally as it says on the tin, Naked Attraction. Everyone is naked in this show, and when I say you see it all on TV. They do not blur anything out. So what happens is you have one contestant who is clothed, who comes in. They are then talking with the host, and they have 6 boxes in front of them, a bit like Iron Man's suit arrangement. And these boxes slowly open to reveal a bit more of the person. So it starts off with the feet and the nether regions, and then it goes up and up, and then they'll vote on who they think's attractive based on that. So the first pod goes up, and they're basing it on your legs and your downstairs region. Now, I know if I went on the show, I just have that unlucky day where I happen to be in a room where 5 other contestants just happen to have the biggest downstairs area you've ever seen. They are packing, and I just be like, yeah, it wasn't my day. And then also, I feel a cold a lot, and you know that's not a good thing when you're trying to show yourself in the best light on Naked Attraction. And I feel even if there was a slight chill in the room, it would not do me any favors whatsoever. I think I'd probably go out pretty early on. I mean, my feet are, I just hate feet anyway, but my feet are minging from years of playing football. So I'm gonna say background character, maybe even are you on the show, because I'd be so unforgettable. The worst bit would be for me is, you know, when they get voted off, they always have this awkward like naked hug where they're like popping their bum out. Yeah, nah, not for me. I honestly don't think I'd have the confidence to go on it. I would love to hear from someone who's been on the show what their experience was of it like, but for me, yeah, definitely not. Then we come to maybe arguably the biggest on the list, which is Love Island. Love Island is an interesting one. It's in the sun. There are some of the best looking people you've ever seen go on Love Island, so I don't think that would help me in the favors. I think it would be the first round, no one would step forward for me, you know, that awkward bit.
Maybe they didn't hear the question.
Maybe they didn't hear the question.
Maybe they didn't.
I would struggle with the concept. Maybe it's just the way it's edited, but they always seem to be sunbathing, having chats, you know, sitting down. Me, I cannot sit still. I mean, if you're watching this video, you can see how much my hands move. I just can't sit still. I'd be the one who is like running around the villa doing bomb dives into the pool, inventing new sports. We'd be having some sort of chair game, anything to keep me entertained. I would talk to people, yeah, but I would have to have more fun, you know. I just couldn't do the sitting sunbathing. I can sunbathe for about 20 seconds and then I get bored. And then if I am sunbathing all day, I'll just turn into it. I'll have to be like applying sun cream the whole time because I just turn into like a lobster, or my arms with like t-shirt tan turn into like a drumstick squashy. So I don't think I'd be great at that. I'd also probably be like, I'd go on the show, I could last the whole show and I wouldn't tan, which would be crazy when you're standing next to all these people. I just think I probably wouldn't do very well on Love Island, so I probably don't think I'd last very long. I'd say background character for that one. Then we've got the classic Take Me Out, which I always loved watching when I was younger. I thought it was a hilarious concept. Guy comes in, all the ladies at the bottom, then they press the lights out and they like introduce themselves with more like traditional dating like videos and stuff. I think I'd have fun on that. My biggest fear would be I'd come down the lift and all the lights would just go off and you're like, no. But I think I would do pretty well, and obviously get a date on the Isle of Fernandos would be fantastic. You can't really be a background character on this unless you got like totally voted out, or are you even on the show, but then that would be really memorable. I don't think I'd be a fan favorite. The winner, you can't really win this show, but you get a date, I guess, is sort of the winner. I think I'd hope I'd do well enough to get a date, so I'm going to put it as main cast. Then we come to X on the Beach, which is another reality show I really enjoyed when I was younger. I think this one would be well fun. I have no problem seeing my exes get with other people, and I would have no problem getting with someone in front of my ex. I don't really have any like animosity between my exes, so I could go on that quite easily. I think it'd be really fun. I'd also love the thrill of sitting on the beach wondering who's coming out the sea. I wonder whether I'd want to be from the start of the show or the guy who comes out the sea. Probably not the guy who comes out the sea, because they always do it so like gracefully, like they come out and like their hair's like waving perfectly, the water's just flowing down, they look like they're just like coming out like a god from the sea. Me, I'd be the opposite. I'd be like choking on the water, my hair's left, right and centre, don't know where I'm going, probably fall over. It wouldn't be the most graceful entrance, but it would certainly be memorable. And then also, as I come out of the water, my skin would just be instantly burning because of how pale I am. Yeah, it wouldn't be a like graceful sight, and they're probably like, whoa, we've got no competition here. But I think I'd have a lot of fun, and I'd love to see, like, the best part for me would see who's doing better, me or my ex. You know, does anyone else get that, where they want to know, did you win the breakup, as they like to say. But yeah, it'd be interesting. It would be interesting to see what some of my exes look like now. I think I'm not one of those people who really keeps an eye on what my exes are doing. If you are one of those people, I suggest you stop, because that is an unhealthy obsession. But for me, I think X on the Beach, I'd get on, and I'd probably just be a main cast as well on there. I definitely don't think I'd win it, and I just think maybe not have so many dates on there because they tend to have really good looking people, but I think I'd do alright. Then we come to Are You the One, which is a very interesting show where they have scientifically picked your perfect match. Now I don't think science has enough to pick my perfect match, but yeah. And the fact that my perfect match would be in the villa with me as well, the chances are very slim. But the show itself is absolutely brilliant because you have 10 weeks as a group to work out each person's perfect match, and if you get it, you win a split of the money. But my problem is, if you make a connection with someone, say in the house, so you've fallen in love with this girl, and then you go to, like, they have a truth booth, which you can go to if you're the couple voted in, and that will reveal if you're a perfect match or not. Now, the problem I'd have is I could have like fallen in love with this girl, gone into the truth booth, and then it tells you you've got to basically unmatch because you're not the perfect couple. And for me, I just wouldn't be able to do that. I can't just switch off feelings like that. And I think I'd struggle with that. But I think as the show, it would be really interesting to go on. And I've got to say, they've had some great series. The newer series, not so much. But like the original few series, absolute banging reality TV show. So I would probably put main cast. It would depend on the rest of the cast as to whether we win or not. I don't think I'd be a fan favorite. I'm not like I don't know. I'm not like can go from girl to girl. So I don't think I'd be one of the fan favorites. I wouldn't cause enough drama to be fan favorite. Then we come to Love Is Blind, which is a concept I don't think I could do. So if you don't know what Love Is Blind is, it's basically where you ask someone to marry you before you've even seen them. For me, physical attraction has to be one of a big thing. An emotional attraction is also a lot. Mental attraction, I like someone who can, chat with me and we can talk about things. I don't want someone who we've got completely different interests, but there still needs to be that physical attraction, and for me that would be really hard to ask someone to marry me without ever seeing them. Also, when they're sitting on the pods, I feel like it's more like you're on the phone, and I don't know about you, but when I'm on the phone, I have to like get up, and I'm like walking to the Sahara when I'm on the phone, or I'm on the roof. I'm constantly moving because I can't sit on the phone and just be like, sit still. No, I have to move. So I feel in the pods, I'd just be distracted because I'd be walking around the room. I'd be doing like paces. I'd look like a crazy man on that show. So for me, I think I'd be a background character, or are you even on the show? Well, maybe background character. Are you even on the show? Because I'd be walking around the pod like a crazy person. Yeah, I just don't think I could sit still for that long. And again, I don't think I would trust my gut to ask someone to marry me when I haven't seen them. I mean, it might work out for me because obviously looks don't come into it, so that's a big plus for me. But I just don't think I'd do it. And then the final show we come to, Too Hot to Handle. This show is an interesting one. Obviously, it's all these people who are very raunchy, shall we say, go on the show, and it's always under a cover name that it's like, oh, Love Island, or, well, it's not called Love Island, it's like The Love Ship or something. Some like really cringy name, and then after 12 hours they're told they're on Too Hot to Handle, where in Too Hot to Handle you can't kiss, you can't do anything more than that, otherwise it costs the prize money at the end. So a kiss is something like $3,000 or $6,000 and the prize pot just drops like that. Now I think I would go on there, and I think I'd probably be alright at not losing too much money. Obviously if I made a connection, I feel like you got to have a kiss or something, so you got to lose a bit of money. But I think I'd generally be alright. I've been single long enough that I could cope without. I could be on there for like 30 days without having to do anything. I wouldn't want to be the stickler though. I wouldn't want to be that guy. There's always one person every year who's like, you cost too much money. I like, let them be, let them have fun. But I definitely wouldn't win the show, because the people who tend to win the show are the people who have had the biggest changes, so tend to be the ones who are the rule breakers at the start. So I don't think I'd even be a fan favorite. I'd probably just be another background character on there. So there you go, that's how I'd rank myself on dating shows. I haven't put myself as a winner, fan favorite, or are you even on the show. I just think I'd kind of be there, be fun. Yeah, I think I'd do maybe alright, but it will be interesting to see. So if any of these dating shows are looking for a contestant, I am single, I am generally free most of the time, so hit me up and I'll have a go. But which is your favourite dating show? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I'll be there to help you shine.